Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dickman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Welcome, guys, and let's do this. Let's go. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm doing all right, my friend. Doing
Yeah?
all right. So, listen, I just told you. I'm going to tell the insiders as well.
Uh-oh.
I'm feeling a lot better. Did the last few shows. Well, I'm glad Mallory stepped in the one that
Yeah.
he
Awesome.
did
Yeah.
because I just came off the Rona.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's like it's a weird freaking thing, man. And I got it it was like 5 weeks ago, something like that, 4 weeks or whatever. It was like the end of July. Okay.
Right.
Which, thankfully enough, like I wasn't able to train. I haven't trained since then.
Right.
It's legit. Like I haven't trained like that long. Are you kidding me? It's like the longest stretch, I don't know, since I started martial arts or I've broken a leg or something like that. Like something just odd. Right. So it's weird. So like when they say like you can't taste nothing, it's legit. You can't taste nothing. You can't taste a single thing. So I lost 35 pounds. 35 freaking pounds.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Because nobody wants to eat anything. You can't eat nothing, man. You're just mushing stuff around your mouth. You're like, this is pointless. This is dumb. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. So.
Don't. It's whatever though. It's all good though. I mean, if you had to do it for a couple of weeks and you had to lose 35 pounds, I suppose there was that. I didn't really have to, but whatever.
I guess. I don't know. Oh man. For you guys, we are sponsored by Virtual Fight Tour, and man, we are excited. It's been a year now for Virtual Fight Tour. So thank you to Jesse. Thank you to everyone that's been a part of it and supporting it. You know, us at Main Gang have been behind them from the beginning. So excited to see them present their final show with the lightweight and the heavyweight winner for the overall grand. It'll be VFT rules and with their VFT judges. So I know Akin will be the center. So he's going to be.
Do we know that? I mean, I know that he's done it a number of times.
Yeah, they have a set judges. So those are their judges. So yeah. So
yeah, that would be kind of cool if they like. So. I know it would be cool if they like say they announce like these are the VFT judges.
Right.
And you know that going into it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they've had all these shows. Really, they've only had about 5 different judges. You know, so
yeah.
They have Akin, Keith McKinley. I think
those are the only 2 I can remember.
Troy has, I think, been it before. You know, so
that's right.
They've had different ones like that. Depending
He's probably the only one who's also been a fighter.
Right. You know, I know when Keith had his a couple of his people in there, he wasn't judging. So they've had it switched out some. There's other ones that I kind of recognize, but couldn't really figure out. You know, it's hard with the mask on, trying to figure out who's who. But they're going to put on a great show this weekend at Amerikick. So get excited, guys.
Oh, that's right. It's this weekend. It's going to be good. Well, obviously, I'm not going to be there. You going to be there?
No, I'll be in North Carolina for another tournament. So
all right.
We got a one down there that I'll be at. So that's what's going on. I was hoping to get up there this year, but got to support my friend down here. So
it feels good. It feels like all of a sudden it's I don't want to say normal because normal is like 2019. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the last time things were like that. Which was that even normal? Who knows?
Right.
Whatever you call it. So, but it almost feels like it's like, all right, the buzz is back. People are at events.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
like there was someone I was talking to around
What's up, Mike
here.
Conroy? What's up, Coach? Thanks for watching.
Oh, Coach is on. What up, Coach? There was someone around here, and they were like, I don't know if I want to go to that tournament. I don't know if I want to do that. And I'm like, listen, if there's a tournament happening and you call yourself an active competitor,
right,
and you don't go, what are you?
Right. You're not a competitor.
But it's really that, but that's kind of like the thing. Like, you just have to be honest with yourself. Like if you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to go, then you're like, all right, you're not a competitor. Like, you don't compete.
Yeah, you're not.
Because you can't say now that there is a tournament happening, because people should just be salivating at the opportunity to go and compete.
Correct.
And so if there's one happening and you're just not gonna go, like, what are you?
Yeah.
Right. And it's
Right.
not like a slam or anything like that, but it's like, well, then what would you
Just,
say?
then just
What
say
would
you're
you
not competing
say
anymore.
you do here?
Yeah. That's
You
right.
know? Yeah. Like, hey, I'll compete more. Right. It's just,
Let's keep saying that so people know. So you don't get called out anymore.
So it's like, it hurts my soul to say, but it's like, I gotta be honest, it's truth.
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking about this today, and guys, we're gonna get into some Q&A. Jeff and I are gonna do some Q&A with each other today. So if you guys got any questions for either one of us, like you want to, like almost like an interview type question, hit us up, because we're gonna do that with each other
the
today.
sport, anything that's been going on lately that you want to ask.
Yeah,
we can get into all that as well.
But this is a good segue for that, because I was thinking about this today as I was thinking about the show that we're gonna have today. You know, like, because we're gonna hit each other with questions. I started asking myself, just like self, all right, do I have any like regrets? Right? Do I have any like, and like the answer to like most people is like, I don't regret nothing. No, the answer was yes, I do. Right? Like, I want to be like, all right, how about in the last fight I ever had? How about not blitzing Jason freaking Borelli from too far away? All right. How about that one? Right? That would be a great I regret, you know.
Right.
I was beating him just to, and when time ran out, like I could have freaking beat him and I had the chance to fight Java and win the freaking diamond ring. Like 30 plus ring. Let's be real. 30 plus ring, not taking anything away from Java, because Java freaking beat Jason. Right. But like, that's a freaking regret I might have.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've had any. This is good. Let's just start with this.
All right.
I got a couple others.
I got a couple others, but this one was really a big one for me because it was when I was on my run of winning, like, I think I won my division every tournament in 1999, right? And I was winning traditional at the time. And it was really hard to get on stage in the grands with traditional, even though I was the top traditional competitor right then at that time. And so we're at Toronto. We're at Mike Nardo's tournament. And I'm feeling great. I did one of my best forms during the day. And really, in a lot of people's mind, I'm probably the favorite, besides maybe Mike Gorelli, to win the grands.
Yeah.
So runoffs happens, and I'm feeling great.
Well, who was in the pool then? Because I'm thinking juniors in '99. There's a few guys that's popping in my head, but it all depends on who was at the event.
So Jimmy Pham was not there.
That's the number one question.
He would be the main one. And I think either Butch wasn't or Butch lost. I think Butch lost musicals
to Mike Gorelli.
To Mike, I think he slipped or something. And Mike won.
For those who don't know, Mike Gorelli was about it. Like, he's team straight up. Very, very good. Extremely fast.
There were some other ones as well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, I was just ready for it, you know. Now,
that really kind of would have been like your time, because like I think Atkins just went to adult too.
Yeah, Atkins moved up to adult. You know, for my divisions, it was I guess the other people would be like Matt. Sometimes Matt Hemming was just getting started and going.
Little young,
but he
little
was
young.
Yeah, but again, everyone competed together. There was no
So it was just 17 and under. It was boys,
17 under boys, and then 17 under girls. So that was kind of the way that it was.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. So again, there was like the scorekeeper's table was like right on the edge of the ring, and so I'm doing Konku Dai at the time, and I go for my first side kick. And I guess I didn't move up enough. So when I do that side kick, I'm literally about to put my chamber on top of the table. Like when I do the side kick, my crotch is up against the table. And so I'm sitting there thinking, oh, crap, what am I going to do? So I have to like chamber and almost put my foot directly next to mine and then step forward to my Shudo block, right?
Oh, okay. So you just had to alter it.
So this is 99. So this is when we were elite.
You had to bring it back inside. Wow, that takes some athletic adjustments.
So I did that, but in my mind, I don't know. I'm like, oh crap, and I just go Shudo block spearhand, which is pretty much the end of the form, right?
No.
And I just pretty much end it. So I did a form that should have been like a 2-minute form in maybe 30 seconds. Instead of just adapting and going in, I'm still thinking I can't change it or whatever. My mind is still going back and forth because I was doing NBL and NASCA.
So is this
and
so runoffs?
Yeah, this is runoffs. So, and Charlie
damn.
Lee's just like, why don't you just keep going? Like, I know you, I mean, it did, none of us cared if we knew, that part wasn't in there, like would have been fine. It was just one of those weird clicks. That's something I regret because that never happens to me anymore. If I mess up or anything, I adapt and change now. And I think because of that, I've grown to do that. Right. But that was one of those things where I felt like, all right, that was my chance to either to win the Grand or be in the finals. And that was 99. We were in Team Elite. The next year, Mike joined the team after winning, what was it, Bluegrass?
Bluegrass. He won the Bluegrass Weapons.
Yep. So yeah. So that was one of those times.
Grand too.
My other one was just not pushing through and just I guess just grinding it out a little bit more for my first Super Grands title. I was going against Leroy Stankston, and we were teammates, and we came through the whole continuous fighting division, both of us again, to go head to head. So that was really cool. I was up in the first round by 11 points. So somehow just kind of, he turned it on, and I guess I just didn't. So that was one of those things. So, and it's just a different concept because there's so much. When you look at like point fight, you can think, okay, this one thing or two things kind of did it. In continuous, there's so much going on, right? It's like, okay, I messed up here.
It's in the name, continuous. Right. It never. There's never a breaking point. There's never a point where you're like, okay, that's only when they separate you, right? You don't get to control anything.
No.
Right?
Yeah. So, but I mean, I always enjoyed that. It was fun. I had, even that day, it was just nutty. Like I was down 40 points in both of my fights to make it to the finals. And I came back and won. Yeah.
How was that even possible?
I don't know. It was nuts.
I don't know. That would have been so hard to like keep those scores.
Yeah, it was crazy. But anyway,
I got one for you.
You already had, all right, here, hold on. I'm gonna go with this one because we have a lot of fighters and stuff. I just wanna. This one is maybe could anybody, but I know you're a kicker, so this is one that I really want, people to get out of our show. So, what is the best way to improve your hands if you are a kicker?
Kick more.
Huh?
Kick more. Okay. No, I'm not even joking about that. I'm being 100% serious.
Okay.
So let's just map this out. This happens way too freaking much. Way too much. Is somebody asking this question?
No.
This was a question that's already been asked, like in general.
No, I'm asking you because I want people to hear your side of this. You know what I mean?
All right, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Okay, so yes, I say kick more, and my reasoning behind that is when that's usually happening, it's because somebody identifies themselves as feeling comfortable kicking,
right?
But they need to but they feel like I need to change this because I'm not winning. So you're good at this thing, but are you good? Because you're not great. Because if you were great, you'd be like, I got no problem. I'm just gonna do this and then just win. Insert Alex Lane,
right?
Raylan Perkins, Elise Gorel, right?
Right.
People who you would just go, I'm not sure I've seen you punch 3 times. You know what I mean?
Right.
Except for Alex Lane. Alex Lane figured it out, and then he had a defensive body punch that was the timing was fantastic.
Yeah.
When he figured that out, it was fantastic. But anyway, my reasoning behind saying kick more is because all right, you probably kick a lot, but it's timeable. It's jammable. All right. People can challenge it even though you're very good.
Right.
Become great at it. Have something that you can hang your hat on and be like, nobody's gonna out-chamber me.
Right.
Well, then it's it's a whole nother animal. All right. The distance of your kick. If people are usually used to a distance, but your distance, just take 4 inches more than what another person would be used to. It messes with everything changes. Everything changes because of that.
Right.
The ability to change levels. All right.
Yeah. That has to
not just high and low, but side to side with that, without moving your shoulders. All right. Is massive. All right. So become a even better kicker. And then now your hands, man, it just becomes so much easier. Now you're building confidence doing this because they're so hyper focused on what you might do with your leg.
Yep.
That even if you went slow or like half speed with your hands, just whenever you decide to go, right, you'll be more effective because they'll be so focused on what you might do with your leg. You actually start to become a little bit successful with that. So now you're building confidence because somebody who wants to start punching more, really what it is, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
It's their confidence.
Yep.
Right. Because as far as what's more difficult, kicking or punching, I dare somebody to say punching is more physically difficult.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
It absolutely is not. The moves that I would practice the most are the moves that required the most practice.
Right.
Spin kicks.
Mm-hmm.
They require the freaking, it's so hard to time spin kicks at full speed. All right.
Right.
360s. All right.
Yeah.
Turns to the body. Spin axe kicks. All right. Duck under spin hook kicks. So freaking hard. All right. They require an immense amount of practice. So much more. How much practice does it take? And I'm not downplaying it. How much practice does it take for a jam back fist?
Right.
It takes a lot of practice. But don't let anybody try to tell me it takes the same amount of practice. You can kick rocks with that. It's way harder.
Yeah.
So that was a rant. My bad.
All right, go ahead with your question.
Well, no, I was gonna say because I was on the regret thing.
Yeah.
All right. What is Mike saying? Mike saying punching and scoring without kicking is much harder. Too many people are afraid to get hit. No, Mike. It's different, Mike. It's another. So it's just
I get what he's trying to say is like if you aren't kicking
and then you're trying to punch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna 100% disagree. We're gonna find out. We're gonna do this tomorrow, Mike, when we all fight together. But because I'm gonna validate what he's saying because he doesn't have the same kind of change in distance, all right, as far as weaponry that he can use if he doesn't have the same kind of kicking, all right. So now the range that I could use, and just in theory, we'll just say me, because if I'm one who's doing that, I have a range that I can get to that he can't. So now he has basically a set. This is how far away I need to be in order to attack, in order to score. We'll say that in order to score, I need to be at this space. That actually can be easier, right? When you're limited and you're like, I can only do these 3 moves.
It's honestly, that's easier because you got less to focus on. You got less to think about in your head.
One of the most, I think, one of the greatest point fighters of all time, Ross Levine.
Yeah.
We all know did 3 moves: side kick, punch, and back fist. Yeah. Right? And he's one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Right? I talked to a couple people who say they argue he's the best.
He's the best. Yeah.
And I'm like, as soon as he said that, I'm like, come on now. And then their argument was compelling, was very compelling.
Right.
Even though I didn't agree with it.
Tim, he asked what happened to Jimmy Pham. So in 2000, when he did his first year as an adult, after that, I know he kind of went on to, he was planning to do college, and maybe even, I don't know if he continued to try to do any more acting and stuff. I know at one point that was something, but I think that he went on to I believe he was at UCLA, but I'm not sure. I know
that's what I heard as well.
Yeah. And then honestly, since the person that was close to him the most at that time was Jeff Gajiri, but I didn't really find out much after that. I mean, I've looked him up and everything as well, but yeah.
That's a question too. What happened to Jeff Gajiri?
I could look that up.
Again, I don't really think I saw him at a competition like after the end of '99.
Yeah, he was. I mean, because I saw him at Charlie Lee's several times. I saw him at Compete several times because he was living out in California.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a lawyer. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So as far as Jimmy, I'm not too sure right now. But yeah, that might be right. He might have moved to New York. I haven't checked in a while with him, but
that's kind of the same story as Anthony Murata.
Yeah,
he did the same thing. He moved out to New York. All right. And same type of thing. That's one dude.
Yeah.
I say Anthony Murata is one of the more underrated sport karate competitors. The guy,
Yeah. He was good, man.
especially with his Korean forms. I really think he was like the closest thing to Mike Chat that there was. I really, really honestly believe that. All right. He basically was Mike Chat light. Yes. Tim even really he agrees with me 100%. Yes. He was
Okay.
right there. His comma, if you take Anthony Murata's comma form, Mike Chat's comma form, I'm gonna say Anthony's better. All right.
Well, yeah. See, I agree with that. I would agree with that. So
Now, part of that is just all right. Anthony did it in the mid 2000s when he was at his
yeah,
best,
yeah.
and
Well,
Chat
I think
stopped in
Anthony
like
was Anthony was
97.
a better kicker, but Anthony didn't have the charisma that Mike
There you
did.
go. That's what it
He
was.
didn't sell it as much.
That's
You
that's
know,
the
so
one thing
that
you
was
are
the thing.
absolutely right.
I don't want to say he's robotic because I don't think him as his personality is, but when he did his forms, it was kind of that, you know. But I mean, I think his comma was one of my favorites. I loved his comma. So,
Dude, Anthony Murata was friggin' should be a t-shirt that say Anthony Murata is good. Here's
all
why.
right.
Now I'm gonna say this. Listen, this one was for real because we used to train together every now and then. All right. And we went to this gymnastics center and we would train. Joe, I'm telling you, this dude
Yeah, could do
could
stuff.
trick.
Yeah.
He was tricking
Yeah.
better than me. And at that time, I was pretty good. I'm not gonna say like I was like because
Yeah.
I was just under this. I
Right.
wasn't like that. I was pretty good. I had a few moves that were like, all right, I could see that, but that was about it. Anthony Murata was out tricking me, and I was like, dude, you don't even trick. You do a 540, you do an aerial, and then that's all you got. No,
Right.
this dude could, but he
Yeah.
wouldn't do them in competition.
Yeah, I understand.
I just was like, and because he's a perfectionist. He's like, I will not do it unless it is absolutely perfect.
Right.
And my personality was like, what the frick's the fun in that?
Yeah.
All right. How
Yeah.
long are you going to do that? How many years do you got to wait?
Right. And he
And then
didn't do it very
didn't.
long, so no.
No, but he
wasn't
won it.
involved
He
very long.
won a couple championships. He won a weapons championship.
Yeah.
That was freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool. I think it was at Bluegrass that he won.
It did.
Right.
It was Bluegrass.
Yeah,
And that's
2004, I believe.
look at you,
2003,
Jeffopedia.
yeah. So, yeah, man. So,
all right, here's one I was talking to you about.
right, yeah.
I wanted to say this one last one when I was talking about like regrets that that I've had. So I kind of feel like when I came in, really, when I hit adult, and I started competing adult in '99, okay, because I didn't go up early. I went pow right when I hit, 18, 99. Let's do this thing. So, but it like locally, I went up like a couple years early, right? So at that time, 2000, right? We talked about this on the 2000 episodes, right? So 2000 was a change. In the 90s, even the mid 90s, there was like, it was deep as far as guys who could really win the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Around 2000, there was probably maximum 5 to 6 guys, maximum, who could win it, which sometimes isn't that far from today, right? Or like a few years ago. Let's just say a few years ago, there was like, all right, you're talking about 5 guys maybe, right? But the list of guys that are like right there is deep. But back then, there was like 5 guys, maybe 6. We're talking Ray, Jotty, Trevor, Jason, and Mike P.
Yeah, Brian Plimple. Yep.
Plimple, and then maybe Preston.
Yep.
But those two didn't really win him if all these guys were there. Right?
Yeah, I mean, Brian would probably win his heavyweight division, and then yeah.
But then who won the one standing at the end? Typically was Ray, Jotty, or Jason.
Yeah.
Ironically, a few years later, they would end up all on the same team. How that happened? Wow. Right? But anyway, so there was a massive, massive gap between everybody else, right? And I was in the everybody else category. So this is legit. This happened. World Series of Martial Arts, because it was called, or because it just changed from Charlie Lee Nationals to World Series of Martial Arts.
Yeah, that's right.
Rolex Challenge. I make the finals. I don't know if I said this before, but then Charlie Lee looks at me and he goes, "All right, Alex, you're in the finals." I'm like, "Yeah, man." It was like 2004, right?
Okay.
He's like, he goes, "Good. You got Raymond." And I'm like, "You dick." Because he didn't even look at the bracket. He just looked and he goes, "Everybody's in? Okay, you're in, you're in, you're in." He goes, "Alex, you're in. You got Raymond tonight." I'm like, "Dickhead." And this is 2004 Raymond, and I'm like,
yeah, I remember. I was there that year.
It's not even. It's like that. And he said first round. Like, dude, that's like LeBron James going against the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. Of course, those Hawks are getting swept. It doesn't matter though. That Hawks team won 61 games. Dude, they're gone. Right? I'm like, whatever. Here's the regret I have. All right. I let other people get in my head instead of going out there and just freaking giving it everything I freaking had. All right. This is what Greg Betlock was saying. He goes, "Dude, when are you gonna like do a backflip? Wait, when you're down enough points, when are you just gonna mess with it and do a backflip?" I'm like, "Dude, F you."
Yeah.
But seriously, there was not one person with me except for BJ. All right. Yeah. Not one person except for BJ who really was like, "Dude, you could do this thing. You could make some noise." BJ literally, if you on the right day, is the greatest hype man, right? DJ Carnahan. So he's like, "Nah, you could do this." So everybody else is getting in my head, and they're just like, I think it was Thomas Wright. It was Thomas Wright who did this. He goes, "Dude, you gotta do what I do." I'm like, "All right, what do you do?" And he goes, "Just go take a shot of tequila." And I'm like, "Time out. Let me see if I got this straight. You want me to go take a shot of tequila with you before I fight Raymond Daniels?" And he's "Aren't you nervous?" I'm like, "More than you could imagine." And he goes, "Get the nerves out." I'm like, "All right, you make a compelling point." So I did that, and I was like a duck. Like I was just sitting there. Like he destroyed me. And it was one of the biggest regrets. I was like, I didn't give that fight my all. That fight, right? I've had worse fights. I've had ones where it's just like I got absolutely destroyed. Most of those are by Jason Borelli, right?
Right.
Kid you not. All right. Those are the worst ones I've ever had. I've had more overtimes and blowouts with the same person than anybody else. Right. And it was always Jason Borelli. I can't freaking imagine.
Yeah.
That's one crazy that I have. If anybody's ever had anything like that or has seen Thomas Wright do something like that, let us know, because that was.
I have plenty of times.
So this is so you can confirm this thing.
Yeah.
Tell me something about that, because he told me. I didn't actually see it.
Yeah, no, just the way he is, man. He would just, like you said, just get the nerves out, and he would just go in relaxed and just that just that I can do anything attitude, man. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Thomas Wright's a tough one because like he was only in the adults for like 2 years, you know?
Right.
Man, the guy was just one of
my favorite fighters. Who should have went early.
Right. He was one of my favorite fighters. Always pumped me up as far as just like watching him was just exciting, you know?
Yeah.
Either it would end in a little bit of a brawl, there would be some late hits. You know, he was going to hit somebody with a ridge hand. He was going to duck under someone's sidekick and back fist from the face. You know, you knew what he was going to do, but you couldn't really stop it, you know?
Dude, the ridge hand. The ridge hand was freaking amazing.
Always. All right, get into something else. We hadn't really done many questions. We said
I got a good question for you. Okay, so it's more like about training. So for the insiders that have watched or at least heard about Jeff Doss's forms, the ones that stick out to me the most are your creative forms, like the Billy Idol forms, like when you did Moni Moni. All right.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow.
Even more than the Intergalactic, actually.
Okay.
I like the Moni Moni ones better. All right. Okay. So when you would do like the hold, like when you did the front kick punch hold, I thought that was dope. But the one that was like, how the hell are you doing this? Was the twist kick.
Okay. The twist kick hold, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, like my hips hurt thinking about doing the move.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it? How did you do this? Really? I'm asking in all sincerity. Like, how do you train that twist kick to hold? So for those that don't know what we're talking about with the kick, it's an inverted round kick, or it has been called a lot of different names.
Right.
Okay. So it inverts. I'm not going to get up and do this, guys. So if you're watching, forget about that. It inverts. Like if your roundhouse kick goes one direction, same foot is going to flip and go the other direction, but it can't snap, obviously. So you flex your foot back and you strike with the ball of your foot, pointing the other way.
Right.
So your leg basically has to flip and invert.
Some people even do it with I think some people
pointing the toes.
with or they point their toes, or you actually hit with the blade of the foot. Some people do it that way.
Yeah, I think that's strange.
Yeah.
Trevor used to do it in fighting a lot and just hit with the top of the foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how, but all right.
So, man, there's a process to it. First, you have to get the flexibility. I think if anything, you got to get the flexibility to turn it all the way. Yeah, like at the beginning of Gay Beck. So if people have seen Gay Beck, in the beginning of Gay Beck.
Perfect, Drew. Yeah, that's the move.
Inverted front kick.
But how people hold it.
Right, and not many people can. So
right,
you have to get the flexibility first to be able to get your hip to go the way it needs to, right? So, so doing, like when you grab your heel and you pull it up to the inside of you, like how my arm is right now, right? That's kind of how your foot needs to be. That's one of the best stretches to get it, right? And then from there, of course, do all this stuff either on the ground or putting your hand on the wall. You gotta have to work your way up. And then you extending it out to the side, which is really just the way you have to do that. The way that I actually, which is funny, like learn how to hold it is very similar to how I found out I could do it on the ground, was actually going on my knee and putting my hand on the wall and just extending my leg out to the side and just doing that over and over and just trying to do the kick on the ground and holding it on the ground. So I have my hand on a chair and I would do the twist kick, and I would, if I can work and learn how to balance from here, my core to hold it up, then when I stand up, it's going to be easier, because then from there, it's just my balance from my leg, right? Again, everything that you do, you got to learn to do it slow first, with your hand on the wall, then maybe assisted with your hand. But I do a lot of stuff assisting with my hand to work my way into it. Then I slowly get away from my hand. Then I slowly get my hand off the wall. So it's a process. The other thing is, of course, strengthening your hip flexors. They're actually going to be like pulling you up. It's because they're.
Real quick. Do you go over all this stuff on like your kicking sessions that you do?
Yeah. I mean,
all right. So y'all, everybody listening, insiders listening, like.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys are interested in learning more about this, I mean, I still do seminars. I can do kicking sessions for groups, all that stuff. But it's interesting.
This question was not meant to plug that, by the way.
No, I know. But I
did not mean to do that. It just is like it's appropriate.
Yeah, but exactly. So there's a lot of process to it. But and the thing is like what I did back then, I think of it differently now, right? Now I think of it more intricate. As a 17-year-old kid, I was like, man, this is cool. No one does this. Oh, let me figure out how to do this.
Okay, that leads me to another question. Yeah. That one statement. This is cool. I'm going to do this. But wait.
I do, Mike. I do, Mike. Yeah, I can.
All right. Yeah, Mike says you have a session on how to strengthen your hip flexors. Yes. Yeah. All right. That's dope.
We can do that.
Here's one. I got a question for you. So when you make your forms, like, okay, creative, extreme, your open forms, creative forms. Okay. I don't know how you make them, but I'm assuming you don't have a set format. I make forms like this, right? This is my process, right? I'm assuming that that's the case. Throughout the years,
for yourself?
For
okay,
yourself.
All right.
I'm assuming that's the case.
Like literally, like I make up at least 5 forms a week.
I know that.
So you kind of have
you got to give a template for them, and then go. Now you play with this and come back to me. Okay, but for you, I'm assuming that's the case. That's probably the case. Like you don't have a set way. Sometimes a creative thing will just come to you and you're like, oh, this is a fantastic ending. Right?
I have an idea of maybe 5 moves I want in the form.
Okay, perfect.
How
Okay.
I'm going
That's not
to,
the question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my real question.
Okay.
Do you have a form that you remember that you had that you were like, whoo, buddy, that you never competed with?
Yeah.
You gotta tell me.
Yeah, man. So, and the thing is, I don't know if I did it. So I was training so hard for 2011 Super Grands. It's one of my best ones, and it was really like a 3-headed race. It was me, Daryl Lewis, and Josh Durbin, and we were literally in all 6 of the divisions. We were first, second, third, and we kind of flip flopped every version there was, right? And of all of us.
Yeah.
But then I was also doing Korean too. So like in that year, in 2011, Daryl won the Open Grands and I won the traditional Grands. And I lost to Daryl by 1/100th in the Open Grands. So
what did Durbin do?
Durbin won 2. He beat me in the in the musical weapons, and then he
Angel coming out. Good
and
question.
then he won another one. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe
one of them is a good question. One of them is not.
Yeah. All right. So again, this form that I was doing, it was just really like I had choreographed it great, my brother and I. And so I was really excited about that, right? About how to really make it just to the beat. And it was fun too. It wasn't just like a classical, like, all right, let me put something that, I don't really like the music, but
you'll do it.
I know because it's real easy for, to that. And it was more of my brother and I just found cool songs that no one would think of, like, I think we even did, the beginning of like a Dipset song or something like that. Like just crazy things like that.
This is 2011.
This is 2011. Yeah. And so this is the tournament. And I literally only did it once, this form, because Daryl goes, he gets 3 10s. Okay. So, and there's like 7 of us in the division.
I haven't even seen anything like that since the mid 90s.
The lowest score I think was all 9 8s. Okay. There's maybe 7 to 8 of us. So everyone was high level. I think Durbin got 2 10s and 9s.
High class.
Literally, I'm going last. I'm the number 1 seeded person, and I have to kill this form. And I still don't do it exactly the way that I plan to do it, because that's just me. I change it all the time. So I still didn't do the hardest. I still didn't do the hardest thing that I knew, because we were on carpet. There was no mats. So I felt when I was going to go do, because I was going to do standing 3 pop 720s, just stand like standing 720s. So 3 of them in a row.
Whoa! Right? You were going to do a jump straight up 2 foot, 2 foot jump 720.
Again,
land
and again and again. Yeah.
No adjustment. Just
no.
Land. Pop. Land.
Yeah.
Pop.
So I only did.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I only did 2 because I just felt like my feet were a little sweaty, right? So that was kind of on that one. But I got 4 10s. So
what?
Right. So I ended up winning that during the day, but we go to the finals, and this is where I'm like regretting, because I go to do in the finals and my form's killing it, feeling great. The very last move, I go to do my leg hold that I did, and I did this, and it just like I bobbled. And
how? You just fall? What happened?
No, like when I pulled my leg up, like I hopped almost.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was just, and again, we were just so close, I mean, I still got 2 judges that gave me higher just because of the choreography, right? And of how everything was, which I don't think, I mean, I knew Daryl should have won. I mean,
Daryl, that one move, favorites. That one little bobble.
That one bobble, yeah. But to me, it's like every time I went back to do that form, it was never the same. It was never like that. And to me, that's what's funny, is that like I won with other forms and beat him with another form that I don't think was as good as that form.
There's been a lot of people just like over the years that have just had like the one little bobble at the end that just effed them so many times.
Right.
Atkins had a few of those.
Angel,
Just
I'm hoping diamonds. If not, well, I'm pretty sure probably not that other tournament, but we won't go there.
oh no.
Yeah,
The
I
one
don't
in
know.
Florida.
Yeah,
this
the one in
fall.
Florida that we got blocked from. So,
Yes, all right.
all right, let's see our next fantasy.
No, he's got a
weapon.
fantastic one.
Yeah,
This is a
fantasy
great
weapon
one.
matchup.
2012
Matt Emming versus 2009 Kalman Choka. Oh,
I don't think that's I think that's an easy one.
for you say Kalman, right?
No, I say Matt.
Okay, for his nunchuck.
Yeah,
Because he elevated.
No, because the best Kalman was not 2009.
No.
That's why I'm like, this is easy, Matt.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think. How much later did Matt retire after Kalman? It wasn't that much later.
It wasn't even a full season, I don't think, or maybe it was just 1 year.
But yeah,
you're right, Andrew. The best Kalman was.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're saying, so I'm thinking of Kalman in 2011 because I think Matt.
Right, but he didn't say 2011. Now, if you say,
okay,
yeah, okay, so there you go, Angel. Yeah,
yeah.
So if you say Matt 2012 versus Kalman 2011, that's freaking hard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm looking at.
It's not really hard. I just don't want to say it, but I gotta say it. It's Kalman.
Yeah, that's what
that 2011 Kalman performance at the Diamonds was one of the greatest. It's not just one of the greatest performances. That is one of the single greatest martial arts performances I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
Then here's the deal. All right, if you put, I know it's hard to do that if you put weapons versus forms.
It is.
But I believe that Matt Emming's forms from that year were some of the best of all time as well.
Yes.
And so,
and there's a few of those he could have had championships from that he didn't.
Right. And
so, it was so good to have him on when he was on the show.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, he was right. He found out firsthand, like when he got on Paul Mitchell, what the rest of us felt about Paul Mitchell. He didn't realize until he got on it. He goes, "Wait, I thought you guys liked me." I was like, "We do. We just don't like.
We just don't like you winning. Yeah, we just don't want you to win."
Yo, so and it was what he really was. If you think about it, Matt Emming was the people's champ for real.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Matt Emick. All right.
No, he's a great dude,
I don't know anybody. All right. So
yeah,
Matt Emick.
I mean, I still think he could win now.
If he's one of the cleanest trickers ever.
Yeah.
But his basics and his stances, like literally.
And he had a little bit different flair with it too that made it his own. There were some things that technically wise maybe weren't right because he'll do some of his kicks and he'll carry through a lot of his kicks, right? So instead of re-chamber, but the way he did it was so powerful that it benefited him. So you thought of it as like, man, he's doing like, cheat nines, but throwing it like a Muay Thai roundhouse kick. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. So.
But I think one of the greatest things about Matt, and then we'll move on to another one, is the fact that every great or good, doesn't matter, extreme or open forms competitor has had a moment where their back leg bent in a front stance.
Oh, yeah.
Not Matt. I cannot. I mean, you'd have to go back to like 2000, 2001 to find one. How young was he?
Right.
But I mean, his late teen years to like adult, like it did not happen.
Yeah. He was always solid. He was always solid.
And that I think is one of the greatest things. Like he can hang his hat on a lot of things, but that's one that like I don't know anybody else who can do that.
Right.
Like that's just how great the dude was. And yeah, like Drew's popping in, but Matt had one of his best chuck forms that night.
And he did. Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Kalman, it was just 2011 Kalman.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with Matt. It's like when he was at his peak in weapons, so was Kalman, and so it was just great. Yeah, as well. Yeah, coach, that's right. Even when he was tricking and kicking, he used his weapon well, which I always loved. And it's still weird to me now that when people do, like, it's weird to me to see someone do a chuck form and they do a flash kick without using it now. It's kind of like, well, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Like you watched this like for
Right.
over 20
Right.
years. You
But at the
watched
same time,
Matt Emmett gave you the template. How are
Matt
you
had to
not
stop
taking
doing
that
that
and
because
going
it-
up?
Matt had to stop doing that because it got too routine. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
that's why you stop seeing him do like the round up flash because like, well, they expect me to do it this way. Let's do it something else. And he
Do
always
it with
found
the
a way to
axe
do it.
kick.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
whatever.
So it was great.
Yeah.
All right. We want to attack another one of these, or we want to attack another question. One of the ones you had.
Well, do we have any other questions?
So,
Ooh, I like
what
Angel's
he
other
asked
one.
Mark Canizzato and Micah Carnes. That's a very interesting one.
That is a good one. But I
still
know who
think
I
the
go right
styles
away.
are different, but
No, Mark Canonizato.
so see for me, I felt Micah was stronger.
I don't.
Mark might be.
So
cleaner
here's
in
a
some
question:
ways,
Are we
but
talking
but
forms or weapons? Number one, because
we're
my
talking-
thought that
we're
was the
talking
coolest.
forms.
Okay, we're talking forms. I'm still Mark Canonizato,
Okay.
right? And here's what I'm going to say: I'm talking team straight up. Mark Canonizato, not Paul Mitchell.
Got it.
Canonizato.
See, I would say Micah was very creative. He was super strong, and his hands were some of the best. I think he was at a time that, like, really, people think of him more of as a junior than as an adult because his adult year was what, maybe a year and a half or maybe two,
Yes.
and he was hard to beat. But yeah, I think it's an apples to oranges comparison. I don't really think they're very similar in a lot of things.
No, but they're not. But
But yeah, I mean that's just for me.
Well, wait a minute now.
But I think Micah was very strong, very strong.
They competed against each other.
They might have, yeah.
I think Micah's adult year was 2011.
Yeah, I think so. So it was probably he went 2011 to 2013, I think, and then ended in the middle of the year 2013.
That seems accurate.
So and Mark's last time I think he was 2011. So
was it?
So, yeah, I believe so.
He went. Yeah.
All right, let's get in a couple of these and we'll get into that fantasy one.
Go ahead.
That's an interesting one too. I'm just trying to think. Oh, all right. So, man, let's do another. All right, this is one. I just want your opinion on it. And I mean, I'd love to hear everybody else's too. Because we talk about, all right, who's going to be the next person or this or that. Let's not say who will be the fighter to beat this person, but what type of fighter will it take to beat Morgan Plowden? What type?
Like Bev Studiger.
What'd you say again?
Like Bev Studiger.
Bev? Okay.
It would be like that. It would be someone like Bev Studiger.
So explain, because a lot of people don't know her style.
So Bev Studiger is big. Like, as compared to the fighters that we see that are very good. Right? Most of the female fighters that we see that are very good are like under 130 pounds. Right?
Right.
So to say like you're 150 pounds, which is not a lot, right? And you're a woman, like you would be considered big. Like that's not big, all right? But anyway, so Bev is probably, I don't know, let's just say one. I don't want, you know what? I'm not going to mention a weight because that's not good to do.
Right.
Bev is, I'm close to being, I was close to being an idiot. All right. Bev is a very good kicker, very strong kicker. All right. And she's long and tall. So I just feel like that could pose a big problem for Morgan's leg. Because if you watch the women that have to fight Morgan, I don't know why they're so, well, I do understand why. Okay, never mind. All right. They're so concerned about their spacing with what Morgan will do with her leg that they just stop moving.
Yeah.
And Morgan just, boom, takes off. And then they go, oh, yeah, she's also got the best blitz out of all of us, too.
Right.
Right.
Which goes back to what you were saying before, like create that weapon that's so good that people are worried about that instead of what else you have. So
that's what I'm talking about. But with Bev, I feel like Bev could and would knock her off balance.
Yeah.
Right. I've not seen that happen. I've not seen Morgan knocked off balance by anyone.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Ever. Right. Even her battles with Chelsea. Chelsea's shorter than her. Right. So, and that didn't really happen. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and coach says confident. You know,
Nobody.
Yeah.
I also have not seen the person that's really confident. I thought Kayla Mejia had a couple of matches where she looked very confident against her, but then everybody else. But and then even then, Kayla didn't win. You know, she didn't win those matches. She just looked confident. That's why I thought, all right, maybe there could be something here. But nobody else.
Well,
you just look right in
again,
their eyes.
we got to get more of a run. You know what I mean? We got to get more consistency and people going to tournaments again, or just getting out there and wanting to ask, hey, I want to fight her in VFT, or I want to, you know what I mean? Like, have the confidence to say that.
There was a few people that stood a chance. Melanie Ortiz stood a chance to where, like, all right, you could pull one off. I thought Ashley Ferruzzi, Christensen Ferruzzi, I thought she had a chance, few of them, but both of them never won. You know, so it's like you can get one.
Right.
Because even if they got one, it's like, well, even then, it's like, what are you gonna like that's the great thing with this sport is you'll fight, if you stay in it enough, you'll fight people dozens of times. Dozens and dozens of times. Right? Just like, I mentioned it earlier on the show when my matches with Jason Borelli.
Yeah.
Damn Jason Borelli.
Oh man. Did you have another one? And then we'll get into a couple of these. And then I have one.
Let's get into some of these. These are good enough. I want to get into some of this. So there was what was it? Fantasy matchup.
Oh, Ahmed versus Didi Batista. That's an interesting one.
Hamid.
I mean, I know you're saying Ahmed.
Hamid.
I would probably say the same thing. You know, the problem is when Didi was around, like, he was such a great fighter, but look at everyone.
I want to hear what Conroy says about that.
But everyone, look who was all in his division. You know what I mean? Like, Didi didn't get the recognition that, like, imagine if he was out maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years later, right? He would have been the best in his division. And, like, maybe, you know, it was just crazy. Like, he just had so many people, you know? But yeah, I mean, I'd say Ahmed, but I think a lot of it's timing on the people that are around. But I would say too. as well, Ahmed as well.
See, the thing with Hamid is his rhythm is very different.
Yeah.
Right? It's very different. And he does have a constant in and out, right? And his right hand was what it was. And he didn't throw ridge hands like Thomas Wright.
No.
He threw ridge hands like he would break people's faces with it, right? And there was an instant where that happened, right? But we're not gonna get into that. We talked about that one. That wasn't even with a ridge hand.
No, that wasn't a ridge hand.
It was a hook kick, right? But that's what I was gonna get to. Like, his front leg was actually really good. Like, there was a few times training. We're training together. I'm like, yo, man, what's up with you? Like, you ain't the same guy. And he goes, well, I got an injury I'm not telling you guys about. And I'm like, well, why are you fighting? And he goes, because I've got to keep my timing up. And I'm like, that's smart.
Yeah.
So after it, I realized after like a few rounds, I was like, oh, this dude, he's got no leg. Oh, I got you. So I start pushing him a little bit. I was like, I'm a blitzer. You got no leg, right? So now I start taking off on him. So then, now at this point, I'm like, I don't know, like 190 pounds. He's like 140, right? Maximum. So Hamid, this is how he would train. Hamid would just be like, every time I would start to move forward, he'd just take off, and he's decidedly faster than me. So now we just start doing this. Pow, pow. In training, the wars that happened the most were Hamid and BJ. BJ Carnahan at like 230, 240, right? Like ripped too. Right. And Hamid at like 130, 140, right? And they would just smash in each other. Right. They would just have wars. And there'd be Elias and Greg Betlock and Jamie Cravens, and I just stand back like, dude, we're watching this. And the thing about BJ he was kind of an a-hole with, but you appreciated, is every match he treated it like this is the final fight. Every single training match was like that. No, there was no like, all right, let me just kind of get the feel for this drill. Nope. He was trying to go all out, take your head off kind of thing.
Yeah.
You Angels messing with me, whatever.
He's messing with you. Oh man. My mom asked, she's wondering how much difference there will be in contemporary forms when there's a consistent tournaments and everyone's kind of going and going full force again.
Dude, I don't
In
know.
that. I don't know. I mean, the tournaments that I saw last year, where there was like the Pro Mac tournaments, the juniors that I saw, like they were all pulling out their own stuff. Like it looked a little bit better as far as not everyone looked like a replica of everyone else. You know what I mean? There was some creativity. There was some who were really trying to be to the music choreographed.
Word.
So I really enjoyed seeing that. I know in weapons has been pushing that so much, but forms is where I feel like we've kind of either got stagnant or, well, yeah, stagnant's really it. Just because I think everyone comes up with a formula and they just like, oh, let's just keep replicating it.
Let's copy that one.
Yeah.
Let's copy that one. Let's copy that one.
And even, as much as tricking and everything has gotten better and better, you still haven't seen too much change in what the people do, And so for me, it's not just there's still some. I'm gonna tell you, Salif, that dude to me is
yeah, he's
great.
legit.
Yeah, he's legit. And there's other people too, and there's I really like Dawson Holt because he not only is he clean and strong, but he does have some creativity as well. And I think there's people like that are going to do something. And I love to see more of that in the adult divisions as well. So, yeah, if things are going to change, now's the time to do it. And, but yeah, so.
You know what I was thinking? And you have to help me with this one. So the NBL is no more.
Right.
Where did those tournaments that were NBL, where did they go? Did they just stop or what happened with them? I'm curious because I was not an active NBL guy, so I don't really know all of them.
Yeah, some stopped. Some, I guess, either moved to, like, I guess a few were like WKC tournaments. Like became like super regionals or whatever. A lot of I'm not sure what a lot of the tournaments in Mexico, a lot of them went with WKC. The ones that were in Mexico went with WKC. As far as America, I mean, there haven't, Jekyll Island, Survivor isn't having an event. Myself hasn't. The ones in, on the West Coast kind of just stopped. A lot of them just stopped having events. It was like, oh, I'm going to go take this to NASCAR. There really wasn't that. Infinity is doing their own thing. They're one of the only ones that are still doing stuff. There's some regionals that, like really the one that
like even ones like Yellow Rose, like
they stopped a long time ago. That stopped a long time ago.
That sucks because that was
before NBL kind of took a little pause.
Because I never attended that one, but I paid attention to it.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was big enough that it's like you should pay attention to what's happening here.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah, and then other ones that left a little bit before that, like Smack hasn't they were gonna have their last one. They were gonna end their tournament. And then COVID happened like the week before or 2 weeks before. So yeah. Still working on that. So
let's go to it. Yeah, there's a lot of comments, but Angel's last comment.
But yeah,
he said he wants a Grand Slam Open again. Dude, I'm down like 4 flat tires. Let's do that thing.
Yep, let's do it.
But I got to tell you, so a couple like Angel hit me up early. He's like, "What's up? Coming out of retirement for the Diamonds this year. This is a sad moment for me. I do no. That's the answer to that question is no." But I don't even know if I'm going to be able to be there. So
I know, right?
Baby number 3 for us is like right around the corner from that. So being 2 states away is not a smart move.
No.
So it does not seem likely that I will be there because of that exact thing.
So,
but
yeah.
There hasn't been a hard set definitive answer one way or the other because Lindsay didn't say like, are you out of your damn mind? That's not happening. She didn't say that.
She doesn't
So
have to, dude. I mean, come on.
she also doesn't have to.
Right.
She'll take the hint. Don't be 2 states away when you're going to be that close. I get that. So we'll see.
Bring everybody there and have the
Yeah.
baby there.
No, I'm going to tell you this. Like after this last road trip vacation, I don't want to drive anywhere
Yeah.
with the whole family there. I don't want to go anywhere.
Oh,
I don't
man.
want to go a half hour with everyone in the car. No. All right? Heck no. I had to take the kids with me today just to go run up and just do some order pickups today. No, I don't want to do that ever again. I understand why people fly with families because it's like 3 hours. Even if you're only going like a 2-hour flight, you have like 5 hours, maybe 6 of this traveling experience, and then you're done. But if you're driving 6, 7, 8 hours, it's the whole freaking day, basically.
You're done.
That's done. No, I don't. I think I'm done forever. I'm never doing that again.
Never doing that again. Everything's gonna be fine. I mean, with
If I
3
could
kids, yeah.
If I could help it, yes.
Yeah. All right,
Yes.
there you go.
It's gonna be expensive, but dude.
All right, so this next one is one it'll be a good one as well, and I love to get everyone's feedback as well and what their answer to this. It's one actually I put up on my Facebook today. It's what's your current short-term goal? Like, what is it that you are going after right now currently? And it could be more than one, but I think this is an important thing for all of us to have. You know, we're in martial arts. That's one thing that martial arts has instilled in us is having goals, having short-term goals. So everybody watching, put yours in, put yours down so we can share those. And when we voice those, that makes it better because now we have you to help me, make sure that keep me on task, right?
So I got a couple.
Okay.
So one of them is, and I kind of mentioned it earlier in the show, like my timing on spin kicks, like it is so freaking hard. If you're not doing it all the time, you lose it. You just lose it. It's gone. I had a conversation with Jason Grenier years and years and years ago. And I was like, because at one point, Jason Grenier had like the best defensive sidekick that there was, right? And I was like, yo, man, I didn't see you like really hit people with defensive sidekicks anymore. He goes, nobody blitzes me anymore. He goes, nobody blitzes me anymore. So now when they do, it's like I just try to punch them because like I don't have the timing of it. So I'm like, yo, that's a great freaking point.
Yeah.
So it's the same, like if you have to be doing it all the time. And obviously, and that guy loves himself some karate. He loves himself some training. So I know he trains with it all the time. So, but if nobody's attacking you in competition, like you don't ever get to perform that move. I had a conversation with Avery Plowden about that. And he was like, when we were training together, he goes, dude, it was great kind of training with everybody here. It was training because people don't kick at me. Like the only person who kicks at me in training is my sister.
Yeah.
Right. So I never really get to practice to step in. And he goes, but here I get to practice to step in because people aren't kicking at me. I'm like, it's right there. So for me, it's the timing on my spin kick, like big time, because I'm just not doing it. But the other one, and this is like completely off the wall.
Yeah.
This was at a conversation with Nick Schneider about DJing, and we had a long conversation about this one. So, and I hit him up, and I was like, "Yo, did you know that on the virtual DJ system software, you have the ability to pull out vocals from songs, just any song, just boom, just pull it out at a click of a button?" He was like, and he hit me up. He goes, "Yeah, man, I just found that out at US Open." It's like on this, and he goes, "It's a total game changer." And so, creating different mashups with that, man, at the click of a button, as long as you can match everything up. Oh, it's so freaking cool. It's such a game changer. It's so cool. So doing stuff like that is fun. So I got a wedding I'm doing. I created a few of them for on Saturday that I'm doing. So I'm kind of excited to try stuff like that.
That's cool, man. That's awesome.
It's like hard though, because you don't want anybody to hear you or see you practice that.
Right.
Because when it sounds great, it's great. When it's not great, it sounds like the worst sound you've ever heard. Like it's the freaking worst. See, Andrew's like it's the only thing it's good for. But you know what though? This is the other thing Nick was talking to me about. He goes, "Doesn't it feel good to be a white belt again?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Right. So I know. So Andrew's all about Serato.
So
I don't like Serato the same. Maybe it's because I'm still like a white belt, gold belt, right? and I'm like, I can't comprehend what you guys are doing in the brown and black belt class. I can't
Right.
comprehend that. So let me sit down here in the virtual DJ level. All right, Andrew, give me a little bit.
Andrew
right?
says one of his short-term goals is to go up the Black Belt magazine rankings, which is a cool thing. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
to ever
Yeah.
be there, that would be
Yeah.
something be a lifetime
Yeah.
achievement for me.
Yeah, that would be something I think too.
That's a good
you
one.
know, yeah, for me right now, I'm going to be testing for my 5th degree on October 22nd in my original style, American Freestyle. So it's going to be something I haven't done in that system in a long time, like do a test with them. So I'm excited for that. So that's a goal. I'm having to learn forms I haven't done before. So that's cool. And just some different things that, I haven't done. And it will be cool too, because my students are going to be there to see me. And that's something I've never had happen before. I've never done a test like that. So
Wait, when's the test?
October 22nd. So 2 months. So that's like a short-term goal, 2 months,
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. That's coming up. And then with that in our system, it's like when you do that, it's pretty much they're nominating you for mastership, right? So over the next year, you have different things you have to accomplish. And so I have, you have to do a year like personal challenge. So I've been trying to figure out what's my personal challenge going to be. I still have said that goal of, remember the crazy one you told me that was nuts for?
The Moon Moo.
No. All right, Moo Moo. But that's all right. That's something I wanted to be something outside of martial arts though. Now I'll do Moon Moo. Okay. That's
What was the other one that just was like just?
Oh, I was gonna ride a bull. Remember?
Like an actual bull.
Yeah. So that's one. But I want something that's gonna move the needle for me. So my goal, I think, within the next year, of course, I want to be doing more public speaking, but I also want to work on writing a book as well.
See,
so
there's 3 things there that I
yeah,
think are good. Okay, the writing a book, the
public speaking,
speaking, and the other forms like the Moon Moo.
yeah,
I think that is
yeah.
fantastic. The bull.
Riding a bull?
Let's
No?
put it like this. I want to see the video of the bull riding.
Okay.
I want to see that very, very much so.
Right.
There's 0 chance on the planet I would ever do that. I'm starting to, and because of that, I'm like, Jeff, why? What's the upside to this thing? Like, I got people to go home to.
Like,
when I'm done with this, I have to make it home. Right?
Right.
You got to make it home. What's the upside?
I'll make it home, man.
Yo.
It's just that thrill, man. It's that thrill of trying to control something for 8 seconds that you can't. So I don't know. Or just, I mean, I don't know, just a different feeling. So I don't know. It's something I've always been a fan of and love, but who knows? It may be something different on that. But a lot of that has gotten me focused on, just more personal goals and not just so focused on like business goals and even this, because sometimes that's so small that like if you look at outside yourself, those business goals are going to happen because you are becoming a better person. You know what I mean? Like you're really pushing yourself. Yeah, the skydive is cool, but it's just something that all right, I do one time and I'll do that as well. That won't be something that yeah. So I mean, I'll do that. You're not going to skydive?
No.
Come on, man.
Listen, I don't understand the goals where the purposes don't die.
But again, I don't see it as like a goal.
It's not like
that's just something to do. That's just like going on a roller coaster to me. Like
it's the same thing as the bull. It's not like you can be like, oh wow, did you see did you see what he did? No, he accomplished the same thing that the greatest bull rider ever accomplished. In the end, they didn't die. That's the end accomplished. I don't understand challenges like that. Don't die.
So you don't like BMX or skateboarding when they're on the big ramps and doing all that?
No, that's different. I do like that. I also will not do that. Did I ever tell you my inline blade story that I never told you about that?
Oh no.
I knocked myself out. I'll do it. It's a real quick one. So this buddy of mine, this was like the week before the Diamond Nationals. I knocked myself out. This is a true story. So he was on he's like, yo, you got to try this aggressive inline blading. And I'm like, it sounded like ice skating to me. I'm like, all right, let's go give this a shot. And he's just like, no, we got to go downtown Minneapolis. We got to go do this thing. And I'm like, are you like, nothing about me says that this would be a good thing to do. Like, what are you talking about? So we go and and I'm trying, and it's like basic level. I am 19 years old. Like, I am not good, right? So he's like, dude, we got to drop into the bowl, man. And we're going to come out the other side. It's going to be so cool. And I'm like, started to do this after a few hours, and now I'm getting it. So now it's like, you like crawl up the other side. You can't freaking get it. And after a while, now I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm hopping up. I'm getting a little air. I'm doing a 180. I'm turning around, and I'm like, all right, I got this thing. And he goes, dude, let's drop in same time and let's go. Let's just, all right, 1, 2, 3. So for those who don't understand how you drop into the bowl, is basically like, it looks like a swimming pool, it's kind of thing, but there's a lip on the end. What you're supposed to do is just literally go right down. You don't, that's why you drop in. What I did is I got a little overzealous and I went out. Now you're not in contact with anything.
No.
And the number one rule is do not straighten your legs. Okay?
Well,
so I went out and I can't feel the bowl. I can't feel anything.
Right.
So I'm like trying to extend so I can get to something. So I straighten my legs, which is the worst freaking thing to do. So now my legs are straight. And as soon as it hits, I just went straight up.
Oh my God.
And I remember at that point going whoop, and then I remember nothing.
Boom.
And I'm down, and there's like a half a dozen people just stare. Like, I'll open my eyes, and they're just you see faces, right? Just like a movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Bro, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I guess." And they're like, "That was awesome." But I'm like, "Well, what happened?" They go, "Dude, you were out cold."
Yeah.
So I'm like,
oh man,
it sucks.
Yeah.
And I actually no, I think the Diamonds was that week that I fought in too.
Oh God.
And I got disqualified too. That sucked.
Wow.
Because I knocked somebody out. Look at the catch.
Last weekend, my girlfriend and I were just like, let's go get skateboards and go skate downtown. Let's do it, Mike.
No way.
All right, sure. But no, yeah, I know. I was never good on roller skates or blades, so I just never did that. But I was into that big time. I had a friend of mine who was on the professional level with that, and then one of my best friends was into BMX. So, yeah, and went to that level too, compete against some pros and stuff.
Do that. Do that instead of get on a bull.
True.
The bike is not going to try to kill you. The bull wants to destroy you and your grandchildren.
True. Oh, man. I'm loving all the comments here. Oh, man.
Yeah, we got a decent amount too.
Yeah.
No, I want to get some. Carmichael had a good one. He said when you were talking about goals, he was like, bring the Texas June Reese system back to DMV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be dope. So is there nobody doing the June Reese system in the DMV area?
Oh yeah, there's all the June Reese schools. And
I don't know. I don't know anything about the DMV area for that much.
John Chung is there. I mean,
okay,
all those guys.
But there's no. Are there any June Reese? There's no June Reese schools there.
Yeah, there's.
I'm asking.
There's tons of June Reese schools. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not as many as there used to be, but yeah, there's at least 5 to 6.
Who still got school? Does Charlie Lee still have a school there?
It's not. Oh, Tim says 2 schools. Well, okay. Well, all right. When I hear June Reese school, I think of a June Reese school. So Charlie Lee school wasn't a June Reese school. It hasn't been a June Reese school for a while. It was Charlie Lee karate, but he doesn't have that school there anymore for a long time. It was Francis and Chun Ri that had the school.
All right.
Who was it? See, I thought I can't think of his name. There's some other guys that I thought ran the school, but maybe they just ran it. But Shackelford, that's who it was. Barry Shackelford. He has a school out there.
But he's running a Junior Taekwondo Institute.
Yes. Yeah.
All
now
right,
I know there's other ones that teach the Junior system, like John Chung's and those guys. But I'm not too sure. Okay,
all right, cool.
He's saying they're not certified in Texas, but they use the curriculum. Okay.
Word.
Got it.
All right.
Interesting.
So what's happening this weekend is the AmeriKick Internationals is happening.
Right.
The virtual fight tour is going to be having the champion of champions. Let's just call it the real grand champion, because
Right.
I'm a little turned off of the. You could leave a tournament and there's literally 30 grand
30.
champions.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not grand,
Right.
right? So like when we were talking about like that, it's like they should just have it. Boys, forms, grand champion, 17 under.
Right.
Not CMX, not traditional, not
Right.
just form.
Mhm.
Boys, done. Things like that, right?
Right.
So I'm excited that Virtual Fight Tour is going to be like, why aren't we doing this? This is a simple thing. You don't want to do it, fine. We'll have Virtual Fight Tour do it. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what that's going to be. So then what that means, we got to see who's going to be the heavyweight. Who's going to be the lightweight.
We could see some matchups that we've been wanting to see, you know?
Yeah. And I think the easy prediction is Avery Bailey, because who else is going to be there?
And I heard that Cam was going to be there, though.
Cam's going to be there.
So we get to see Cam versus Avery first,
but we don't know, is it going to be heavy or is it going to be the heavyweight grand? Because I don't know where Avery's at.
Right.
You know, we know Avery's on the other side, or we know Cam's on the other side of 200 considerably. Right. But I mean, Avery looks jacked. I would be hard pressed to see that guy under 215.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. I don't think he's under 215. He's big.
Yeah.
Right. So, hey, having them fight first round, having them fight for the division, that would be something. I don't know. I hope that Avery's close enough to where he could just be 198 and then they fight for the heavyweight grand. That would be cool.
Either way, it's going to be before. So
who else are we going to have on the heavyweight? Say Edgar Hermani. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. So,
and not to give any spike to him, because I think he won the heavyweight division.
He won the grand at U.S. Open. He won the heavy grand at U.S. Open. Yep. So
I'm not going to pick him over either one of those guys. And not to give you slight, like, congratulations, you won the U.S. Open. I'm not picking you against either one of those dudes.
I mean, I think we want to see Bailey versus either of those two guys. You know what I mean?
But it's the lightweight side where
there's a lot of action there, and then this is where we get to see Tyreek prove what he said. You know, he wants to be the best. So let's see it. And he's had some of his best tournaments were at the Amerikick. You know, so.
I actually think where the couple of curveballs could be is, where do guys like Ryan George and Kevin Walker, what division do they fight in? Is it going to be light middle or middle?
Right.
So, because either one of them, I could see if either one of them was the heavyweight winner if they both fought middle, either one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guys like that, those are the guys where it's like, yes, they could win it all. They could win it all. They could win the lightweight side. They could win the heavyweight side. And having a dominant, like, light middleweight guy, someone who can flip between the other, right, reminds me of guys like Jason Borelli in the time when he would go back and forth, because he could do that too. Or Raymond. When Raymond was in light middle to middle, that's kind of the and I'm not comparing those two. I'm not saying they're at that level. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying guys who could do that. That were the guys.
Definitely.
Right? So I guess, are we making a prediction? Let's make a prediction.
I didn't know we were doing that.
Why not? It's this weekend.
Okay. Man, that's hard.
Without knowing, I'm going to assume.
I'm going to go with Bailey in the finals versus Avery.
Bailey versus Avery.
Yep.
Who are you picking to win?
Jeez. I don't know. I'm going to go Avery.
Okay, you're going Avery.
Yep. Again, that may not even happen. So
I'm going to without knowing where without knowing where Ryan or Kevin is going to be, I'm gonna say they're on the light middleweight, because I think that's where they both last fought, was light middleweight. So I'm just gonna put them there. You guys are light middleweight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that means they're on the lighter weight side of things. I'm gonna say Kevin Walker comes out of the lightweight. All right.
Okay.
If his kicking game is where it is, Kevin Walker, and then Kevin Walker. Let's just, to be different, let's say Cam Dawson. Cam Dawson wins.
Yeah, see, that's it. It's going to be a close one. So,
and then Kevin Walker.
Okay.
Kevin Walker is the overweight, the overall Virtual Fight Tour winner.
All right. Interesting.
No, this is the reason I have to. You know where the reason why I have to.
Okay. Go.
Because anytime I don't pick Kevin Walker,
that's true.
he wins.
That's true. That's true.
But then am I jinxing him by picking him then?
You might be. Dude,
I have realized I have the ability to jinx some people.
You do. All right, man. Hey,
we gotta go.
Close.
We gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta.
We're too long. Just tune in next week for the next rant.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us, man. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for all the questions. And if we didn't get to them, we may get back in and comment in the comments.
Oh yeah, comments don't end.
Yeah. Keep joining. Keep checking us out. If you don't get to watch us live, check us out 8 a.m. The pod comes out every Thursday morning. And check out everyone on Main Gang on Martial Arts Center Network. CTE comes out Tuesday morning. Raw, Willie and Regina's, theirs comes out Monday morning. And Fist Kicks and Flicks, which is lots of fun. It's one of the funniest ones. And a great
they did
one.
Hero. They just reviewed Hero.
Yeah, it comes out Wednesday morning. So we got some every day on the pod. YouTube.
Dude, I listened to CTE twice this week. That's
yeah,
how great
you got to listen to that twice, and that will.
I listened to it twice. It was so good.
We didn't even get into all of that.
We didn't have to.
We didn't have to because they said Travis said explained it all. So
yeah, it has been said. Yeah, that's it.
And thank you, Virtual Fight Tour.
Thank you, Virtual Fight Tour, for sponsoring the show. If you guys didn't understand that, if you guys want to become a sponsor of the show, reach out. We are listener supported. Feel free to comment on the show. Give us a review. We like those reviews because we had them. We'll look back and see the reviews. If you have a review, we'll read it live on the show.
That's right.
Don't give us a 5-star rating. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week.